Hello, friends. Good morning, everyone. In a world filled with distractions, expectations, and constant noise, the most courageous thing you can do is focus on yourself. This is not selfishness, it is survival. Personal growth is not about becoming someone else, it is about becoming fully you, without apology or compromise. When you begin to focus inward on your thoughts, values, time, emotions, habits, you initiate the most powerful transformation of your life. Growth starts not with doing more, but with doing what matters. That shift begins when you stop chasing people, validation, and perfection, and start investing in your mind, body, and spirit. Focusing on yourself means setting boundaries, saying no with confidence, protecting your peace, and daring to choose what is best for you, even if no one else understands it. But this is exactly why focusing on yourself is no longer optional. It is essential. Because without clarity about who you are and what you want, you will be pulled in 100 different directions by people who don't even know you. Your energy is sacred. Your attention is power. And if you don't guard it fiercely, the world will consume it. Now is the time to step back, disconnect, reflect, and realign with your values. Focusing on yourself is the first step in creating a life you don't need to escape from. Let's clear one thing up. Focusing on yourself does not mean ignoring others. It doesn't mean isolating yourself or being cold-hearted. What it means is prioritizing self-awareness, healing, purpose, and alignment before anything else. It means choosing solitude over drama, choosing discipline over distraction, choosing long-term peace over short-term attention. Choosing to ask yourself, what do I want? Who do I want to be? Instead of letting others decide for you. This is a mindset shift, a way of living that turns your energy inward, not to escape the world, but to master your role in it. Self-awareness is the foundation of all personal growth. Without it, we move through life on autopilot, reacting, people-pleasing, chasing external validation, and wondering why we feel disconnected from ourselves. But the moment you pause, turn inward, and reflect, everything begins to change. You stop looking at others for answers and begin to recognize that the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. Embracing self-awareness means choosing honesty. It means standing in front of your inner mirror without filters, distractions, or denial. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. You can't grow what you don't know. You can't fix what you won't face. That's the truth about transformation. It starts with awareness. Every toxic habit, every painful pattern, every misplaced priority begins to shift the moment you become conscious of it. When you are self-aware, you understand your triggers and how to manage them. You become intentional in your relationships and choices. You stop blaming others and take accountability. You start creating, not just reacting. This is where real power lives. In knowing yourself deeply and still choosing to grow. Many confuse self-awareness with harsh self-judgment. But self-awareness is not about beating yourself up. It's about observing yourself, your thoughts, habits, emotions, without shame. It's a compassionate curiosity. A willingness to understand your story without attaching labels like a good or a bad. Self-awareness says, I see what I am, and I want better. Self-criticism says, I'm not enough. Choose awareness. Choose growth. Self-awareness is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Here are some ways to build it daily. Journaling, write down your thoughts, feelings, and actions each day. Ask yourself, why did I react that way? What triggered me? What do I truly feel? Mindfulness meditation, even 5 minutes a day, can help you observe your inner world with clarity. Feedback from trusted people, sometimes others see what we can't. Learn to receive feedback not as criticism, but as a tool for growth. Tracking patterns, notice your emotional cycles, decision-making habits, and recurring challenges. Your patterns reveal your subconscious beliefs. Asking better questions instead of a why is this happening to me? Ask a what is this teaching me about myself? The most emotionally intelligent people are not the ones who never feel anger or sadness. They are the ones who recognize their emotions in real time, process them with maturity, and choose responses that reflect their values. Self-awareness enhances your emotional intelligence. It teaches you how to pause before reacting, how to communicate clearly, how to stay grounded when life gets chaotic, how to navigate relationships with empathy and boundaries. In other words, self-awareness turns emotional chaos into emotional clarity. Priyanka Chopra often speaks about how she redefined herself over the years, how she became aware of her fears, limitations, and the need to control how others saw her. Through self-awareness, she stopped living to impress and started living in alignment with her truth. In interviews, she often credits her ability to grow and reinvent herself to honest self-reflection. She embraced the discomfort of change, owned her journey, and used every moment of awareness to fuel her evolution. That's not just fame, that's wisdom. Most people spend their entire lives searching for external validation, looking for someone to tell them they're enough, capable, or talented. But when you focus on yourself and grow from within, you realize that your greatest power has always been inside you, your strengths. Understanding your strengths is not about arrogance. It's about awareness. It's about recognizing what makes you unique, powerful, and irreplaceable. When you know your strengths, you stop shrinking for the world. You start showing up with confidence, clarity, and purpose. When you know your strengths, you make better decisions. You build better relationships. You protect your energy from distractions that don't align with your purpose. You stop trying to fit in and start standing out. Knowing your strengths helps you focus on what you do best. Builds natural confidence, guides your career and life path, teaches you to say no to things that drain you, helps you align your time and energy with your values. Your natural abilities aren't random, they're clues. If you've always been good at comforting others, maybe you're meant to heal. If you're great at organizing chaos, maybe you're meant to lead. If your creativity flows effortlessly, maybe you're here to inspire. Start looking inward instead of outward. Your strengths are not always flashy or loud. Some strengths are quiet, like deep empathy, patience, or intuition. Others are visible, like leadership, discipline, or communication. Every strength matters. If you aren't sure of what your strengths are, start here. Reflect on your wins. What challenges have you overcome? What do people thank you for the most? Your story holds the answers. Ask trusted people. Friends, mentors, and co-workers can often see your strengths more clearly than you can. Notice what energizes you. Strengths are often tied to energy. What tasks make you feel alive? What activities make time fly? Review your patterns. Think back to childhood. What were you naturally drawn to? What did you do effortlessly that others found hard? Use tools, strengths assessment tools like Clifton Strengths, where character strengths, or simple journaling prompts can help. Every dream, every goal, and every vision we have for ourselves is often followed by an uninvited pair, fear and doubt. These two are the silent killers of potential. They don't scream, they whisper. They don't block you physically, they paralyze you mentally. And unless you confront them, they will keep you stuck in a life far smaller than the one you deserve. Fear tells you you're not ready. Doubt tells you you're not good enough. Together, they tell you to stay where you are. But if your goal is to focus on yourself and grow, you must understand truth. Fear and doubt are not your enemies. They're signs that you're on the edge of growth. Fear and doubt are often rooted in past experiences, failures, rejection, criticism, or trauma. Maybe someone once told you that you weren't enough. Maybe you failed in front of others and never recovered from the shame. Or maybe you simply fear the unknown. Fear is a natural emotion. Doubt is a natural response. But neither one has to be a life sentence. Once you learn to observe them, not obey them, you begin to regain control. When you focus on yourself, you learn to identify your internal fears without judgment. You learn to ask powerful questions. What exactly am I afraid of? Is this fear protecting me or limiting me? Who planted this doubt in my mind? And do they deserve that power? This kind of inner dialogue builds self-awareness, and self-awareness is your weapon against self-sabotage. Priyanka Chopra, a woman who faced heavy judgment, from her skin color to her accent to her career moves, once said, "Oh, don't try to squeeze into a glass slipper. Instead, shatter the glass ceiling." That's what overcoming fear and doubt looks like. It's not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward despite it. Priyanka didn't wait until she had it all figured out. She acted, stumbled, learned, and grew. And so can you, but you can't grow while staying comfortable. The version of you that's confident, focused, and thriving is waiting beyond your comfort zone. Fear is often just a signal that you're growing. Doubt is often just a test of commitment. Keep going, push through, trust the process. Let fear motivate you, not paralyze you. Some of the most successful people in the world still feel fear, but they use it as fuel. When you feel afraid, say, "This is the edge of expansion. I'm leveling up." Let your fear remind you that you're alive. Let it remind you that you care. And then move anyway. You are not alone in your journey. Everyone who's ever done something meaningful has faced fear and doubt. You're not broken. You're just becoming. You are not weak for feeling fear. You are human. You are not foolish for having doubt. You are evolving. What matters is that you don't let it define you. Growth begins in the mind. What you think, you become. And if you want to truly focus on yourself and grow, you must rewire your inner dialogue from self-doubt to self-belief. Positive thinking isn't just optimism. It's a decision to face life with strength, hope, and purpose. Your thoughts shape your emotions shape your actions, and your actions shape your life. So when you choose positive thoughts, you're not denying reality, you're deciding to rise above it. Psychologists call it a cognitive reframing. It's the ability to shift your perspective from negative patterns to empowering ones. People who practice positive thinking have lower levels of stress, higher levels of resilience, greater motivation, and focus, stronger relationships, healthier bodies and minds. This isn't a motivational quote, it's neuroscience. When you feed your brain with hopeful, strong, and grateful thoughts, you activate new neural pathways. That means you can train your brain to think better and live better. We all have an inner voice that narrates our lives. It either tears us down or builds us up. If you constantly think, "I can't," or "I'm not good enough," you'll shrink into those beliefs. But if you start thinking, "I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm worthy of success," then your actions will begin to align with that strength. You'll start showing up differently for yourself. The key to focusing on yourself and growing. Start by speaking power into your own name. Priyanka once said, "I'm not afraid to take risks. I'm not afraid to fall because I know I'll get back up." That mindset didn't come from a perfect life. It came from mastering her thoughts. She faced rejection, cultural barriers, public criticism, but never let negativity define her. She turned every no into fuel for her next yes. That's the power of positive thinking in action. And if she can do it, so can you. Let's be clear. Being positive doesn't mean ignoring pain, pretending everything's okay, or suppressing your emotions. It means choosing hope even in hard moments. It means saying, "The situation is tough, but I'm tougher. I feel lost now, but I'll find clarity. We failed, but I will rise stronger." It's about holding space for truth while still believing in possibility. Morning affirmations. Start your day by declaring power over your life. Say, "I am focused. I am enough. I choose growth today." Gratitude journaling. Write down 3 things you're thankful for daily. Gratitude trains your brain to find good even on bad days. Surround yourself with positivity. Your environment matters. Follow inspiring pages. Listen to uplifting music. Distance yourself from people who drain your light. Speak to yourself with kindness. Would you talk to a friend the way you talk to yourself? Stop criticizing and start coaching yourself like someone you love. Flip the thought. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "This is hard, but I can learn." Reframing is everything. When you feed your mind positivity, you start seeing yourself differently. You start making better decisions. You stop settling. You stop shrinking. You say no to what drains you and yes to what grows you. You trust the timing of your journey. You become the type of person who doesn't give up when it's hard. You become your own cheerleader. That's real power. No one is born confident. Confidence is not something some people magically have while others don't. It's built brick by brick through choices, challenges, and a deep belief in yourself. Focusing on yourself and growing starts by accepting this truth. Your confidence is your responsibility. Confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from progress. Every time you try, learn, and improve, you're building your inner strength. Every small win, every moment of courage adds to your foundation. You become more grounded, more certain, more powerful. True confidence isn't loud. It's not boastful. It doesn't seek approval. Real confidence is quiet, rooted in self-respect. It's the ability to walk into a room without needing to prove anything to anyone because you know who you are. You don't get this kind of confidence by pleasing people. You get it by showing up for yourself, by keeping promises to yourself, by choosing discipline over comfort. That's when your inner voice starts saying, I can trust me. Or confidence is deeply tied to how much you value yourself. When you believe you're worthy of success, of love, of happiness, you carry yourself differently. You stop settling. You stop shrinking to fit in. You begin to take up space unapologetically. Focusing on yourself and growing into the person you were meant to be requires this self-belief. Because growth means risk. And risk requires courage. Confidence is what allows